Hello my beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Euro Cooking Canuck. Once again, thank you so very much for joining me. Big shout out and hello to all of my new subscribers, and a hello and welcome back to my current subs. Guys, on today's segment of Memories of Macedonia, I'm going to be doing and showing you something that's one of my actual favorites, and that's Turshija. Basically what Turshija is fermented or pickled vegetables, and they can be a variety of combination of vegetables. We'll get more into that as we start this recipe. Now I say recipe, it's more of a technique, so I'm going to show you how we make these lacto-fermented vegetables naturally. There's no vinegar involved. Guys, Turshija started in Macedonia obviously before refrigeration, and it was a way to preserve the vegetables that grew aplenty, the bounty that they had during the summer. So this was normally prepared in the autumn, and it was consumed in the winter when there was a lack of fresh vegetables. Now, way you want to serve this is up to you. Straight out of the jar, crunch, crunch. You can serve this as sides to any meal or on a platter as meze with some cheese and olives and bread. And guys, my mouth is watering already. Let's get in the kitchen and let's show you how to make amazing Macedonian Turshija. Guys, as usual, welcome to the kitchen countertop. I will put all of the ingredients that I'm using below in the description bar, and I will also put the quantities for the brine, which is actually the most important thing, in the description bar. Just click show more. So here I have an array of beautiful vegetables that are most traditionally found in Turshija. So again, guys, you can use any combination that you like. You can omit something you don't or add more of something that you love, obviously. So right here what I have is some cauliflower, green tomatoes, which are my favorite, cabbage, I have a red pepper, small little yellow pepper, a couple of hot peppers, a few carrots, and I have a small cucumber. You can get the very small ones and put them in whole, you can coin them, it's up to you. I have here some garlic, bay leaves, and beautiful fresh dill. Now guys, if your dill comes with the floury tops, you do not need dill seeds. However, mine doesn't, so I'm going to use a little bit of dill seeds. Obviously, we're going to need salt and water, and that's it. So guys, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some of the cauliflower, the cabbage, and my peppers, possibly my cucumber. I'll show you what it all looks like once they're all trimmed. Alright guys, as you can see, my vegetables are all prepped. I'm leaving my hot peppers intact, and I really don't know how hot these are. You can omit these if you don't want hot peppers. You can put sweet peppers. It may make everything a little spicy, but I don't mind that. I'm leaving my green tomatoes whole as well. The great thing about Turshija, guys, is you can cut your veggies how you like it. They can be in small little pieces, they can be in big chunks, or they can be whole. I've just left my red peppers in big slices, my carrots in big chunks, my cabbage in big chunks, my cucumber in big chunks. I struggled whether I should cut it up or not, but it's up to you guys. If you have the small ones, I'd keep them whole. And my cauliflower, I tend to like them in bigger chunks, but again, it's completely up to you. I also have here some cabbage leaves, which I'm going to need for the top to make sure everything is submerged in our liquid. So guys, that's it. The next step obviously is to create our brine, and I'll show you what that looks like right away. Hey guys, what I have here on my pot, on my stove top, is some bottled water. You want to use filtered water and something with no chlorine. If you're using tap water, you must boil it. Now I'm going to boil mine simply because I'm going to be using coarse kosher salt. I've ground it up in my mortar and pestle, but I want to make sure that this is going to dissolve. So I'm going to put my heat on, and I'm just going to simply go ahead and add my kosher salt. And again guys, all of the amounts will be below in the description bar. Click show more. Now obviously, it's to everyone's taste. You will taste your brine. If you find it too salty, add more water. If you do not find it salty enough, add more salt. It's not rocket science, guys. It will still pickle your vegetables. So guys, a watch pot never boils. I'm going to just bring this to a boil until my salt is all dissolved, and I'll show you what we do next. It's obvious, guys. We're going to start jarring it. Okay guys, I've let my brine come to boil. The salt has dissolved and I've let it cool slightly. It's still quite warm actually. But I'm going to go ahead now and show you the jarring process. Guys, you do not need to boil your jars with this. It's a natural fermentation process. The important thing is, after a few days, when you think it's to your liking, you put a cap on it and put it in the fridge. What I have here is a sterilized jar. I've cleaned it with soapy hot water, and then I put boiling water in it and made sure it's very sterile and clean. Now, when it comes to your jar, glass or an earthenware crock is always the best. However, you can use plastic if it is food safe. Now I know this one is because I actually bought store-bought Turshija in here, but it must be food safe, and if you're not sure, you need to find out, contact the manufacturer or look it up online. Right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start our Turshija. So on the bottom of my jar, I'm going to place a big sprig of dill. This helps when you have small hands, but and I'm going to put in a couple of cloves of garlic, in which I've just nipped the ends off. Okay, so that goes in. And then I'm going to go and put in a couple of our bay leaves. And that's fine. Now you could put peppercorns in here, mustard seeds. It's up to you, but guys, this is the straight up original version, okay? So now it's just a matter of placing your vegetables in. So I want to make sure that my jar is tightly packed. That way I'll be able to ensure that everything will be submerged below the water level. So pack it in as tightly as you can, and keep adding your vegetables in. I'm going to go ahead with a pepper here. And I might just want to snip the end off that. There we go. The stem. That's better. So continue packing in your vegetables where you see space. Now guys, I obviously have enough here to make a couple of jars. I'm not going to bore you with showing you all of them. For the video's sake, we're going to do a couple, or sorry, this one rather. And then I'll show you what I do next. So I'm going to continue packing the jar with the vegetables. It's not rocket science, guys, and I'll be right back when that's full. Forgot to mention, guys, my dill, obviously, as I said before, did not have the flowering heads, so I do need some dill seed. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in as well. You can put them in at the end, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to continue filling my jar. Alright guys, my jar is pretty much packed in there as best as I could. And the great thing is it's packed tightly that it'll stay all submerged. So I'm going to go ahead and put in just a little bit more dill. You can poke that in, poke it down there. Maybe a bit more garlic if you like. Great, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, excuse me, some cabbage leaves on top. Well, actually I'm going to do that after I put the brine in. That wouldn't be good. So yeah, we're going to go ahead now and put the brine in. And again, guys, taste your brine. If it's too salty, you might want to add more water. Of course, boil it if you have to. So just slowly put in your warm brine. Try not to spill it everywhere like I am. And guys, Turshija, or any fermented vegetable, and for that matter, is really, really good for you. There are so many probiotics in fermented food, not to mention the fact that it really helps, as I mentioned, with the flora in your gut. So eating this, you know, traditionally when they ate this during the winter months, it gave them much probiotics, much nutrition and nutrients that they needed. Nowadays, guys, you can eat this whenever you want. I love it. I always have some in my fridge, always. Whether it be homemade or store-bought, I always have some. It's very good for you. And I don't mean to give too much information, but when you go to the bathroom and you have the number 2, you will notice if you eat fermented foods that it is really, really good for you in that department. That's all I'm going to say. Right, so that's in. Now you might want to give it a poke with a stick to see if there's any air pockets or air bubbles in there. But we're not jarring this to put in a canner or anything like that. We're going to actually leave this open and I'll show you what I do. So I'm just going to top it with a bit of the leaves. You can see some bubbles coming up already. I'm just going to top this with just a couple of the cabbage leaves, just to ensure everything is submerged under the water level. That's great, perfect. So now, what I'm going to do, and I said this is going to be left open. So I have a couple of pieces of paper towel here. You can use cheesecloth or an old rag that's clean, whatever, because this is going to ferment, it's going to burp, it's going to bubble, and this just ensures no flies get into it, and it's an easy way to check on it. So I'm just going to put an elastic band around it, and this is it. Guys, I'm going to sit this on my counter now. The warmer the spot, the better it is. It'll ferment quickly. You can eat these tomorrow if you wanted, or it's better if you let them go for a few days. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back to show you the progress on our Turshija tomorrow, and then we'll take it from there. But it'll only be in a couple of seconds for you. Hey guys, it's 24 hours later, and I want to check on my Turshija. I've smelt it, and it smells amazing. I can smell that dill, the garlic, and it's getting that pickled aroma to it. Now, it's a good thing that I put the paper towel on top. You can use a cheesecloth, because when I woke up this morning, there were a few little friends who decided to land on here. Things like fruit flies and flies, they love fermentation. So they were a few on here to shoo them away. Had this not been on here, they would have been inside our Turshija, which is not good. So I'm going to just go ahead and give it a check. Now, before I do, you can probably see that it's starting to get a little bit more murky and things are starting to happen. There's action going on in there, guys. Oh, and I've just wet my paper towel, so I'll have to replace that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this paper towel and take a look at our liquid level. The leaf is doing its job. As you can see, everyone is staying below the water level. And like I said, guys, this you can eat today. It's ready to go if you want. However, I want to ferment this longer. Now, I just wanted to speak about the fermentation process. This is a lacto fermentation process, meaning it is all natural. I've not put in any vinegar. I've not added any citric acid or a conservant or a preservative. If you wanted to, there is something called conservant. And you can add this, follow the manufacturer's instructions on the back, but I'm showing you how it was done originally in the old country, before refrigeration and before they had anything that they can add to it. They just use water and salt, guys, and the spices that they had on hand. So we're going to cover this again. Let me get some new paper towel. And I'm going to check back with you guys in a couple of days, and we'll see where we're at then. Like I said, guys, if you want, be my guest. You can start eating this now, but I want to let mine ferment a little bit longer. If it gets cloudy, that's fine. It's natural. It happens. Allow that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and sit this out, leave it out. And guys, we'll see you in a couple of days, and we'll do a catch-up. Well, just moments for you. Hey guys, it's a couple of days later, and I want to check in on my Turshija. As you can see, hopefully, it's getting a bit more murky, and that's what I want, that's what I like. Now, every day you should look at it and taste it and test it if you like. What I did yesterday was I removed the top cabbage leaves because they've done their job. Everything is submerged. So I'm going to take a look at it today. There's the dill we got there. And everything is still immersed. Submerged, I should say. And the brine is looking wonderful. So at this stage, like I said, guys, I tasted the cabbage. It's starting to taste good to me. I'm going to taste a little bit more. I have a piece of cauliflower here. I'm going to taste it. That's really good. Really good. So I want to keep this going for a few more days, but I don't need to let it air out anymore. I want this to ferment. So I'm going to pop my lid on it. And at this point, I know it's not going to bubble over on me. So I'm going to, and you can see on the bottom how lovely that brine is getting there. I love that cloudiness, and that's great. So I'm going to turn this over now, and then tomorrow I'll flip it back the other way, so on and so forth, until it's to my liking. Guys, you can eat this now. It's great. It's wonderful. And the next time you see me, we'll be serving up some Turshija. Hey guys, it's been a couple of weeks actually, and I've let my Turshija stay on the counter fermenting. I did check on it once. What you can do if you want to make sure everything is submerged is put a little plastic or glass bowl on top of your Turshija. So what I did was I just put this little bowl, and I have one of these plastic weights that you can get for jarred pickles or jalapenos. It just holds everything down. So I just put that in there as well. It's not completely necessary, but I just wanted to make sure everything was submerged. During the fermentation process, you might get some white clouding, and that's perfectly natural and normal. Let it happen. These are what I would liken to closest to kind of a kosher pickle taste. So that's how I like them. So I'm gonna open this up, and I've tasted the brine the last time I chucked. I just want to give it another little taste. At this point, guys, there's really not much you can do. If it's horrible, you gotta just start again. But if it's not to your liking yet, you can leave it further. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So let's take a look. There's a piece of cauliflower. We have a yellow pepper. Let's see if we can get some cabbage out. Oh, some dill attached. And we have some carrot here. And I'm going to taste this. Guys, it should be a bit of a crunch still to it. So I'm going to try this. That is so good, guys. Wow. The cabbage should also be that kind of squeaky, crunchy. So let me try this for you guys. Amazing. This Turshija came out perfect, guys. Right below, show more. I will leave you all of the amount that I've used for 2 of these large jars. Unfortunately, I don't know the size anymore because I washed the labels off them, but they're quite large, as you can see. Guys, worst case scenario is you're going to just have a leftover brine, which you can save for another project or put in a smaller jar. But I'll be right back and show you how I like to serve this up. Hey guys, our Turshija is all done. It's so worth the wait. And guys, you know, while you're waiting for one batch to ferment, start on your next one. Summer is a great time to buy things in abundance. If you don't eat everything, make Turshija. Guys, this is a classic in Macedonia. We serve it as it is, as meze, with a nice big chunk of white cheese, feta cheese, some crusty bread, and of course, Rakija. Now, every good Macedonian knows that when you have homemade Rakija, it comes in a plastic bottle. So, this is my uncle's homemade Rakija. It goes amazing with Turshija. So guys, there you have it. Make it. It's so good for you. There's so many probiotics, and it's tasty, and you made it. Guys, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna enjoy it. I have a steak on the grill. So, Nastravia. We'll see you next time on Memories of Macedonia. My Facebook page will be below, and a few pics to follow. Please like, share, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, come and join me. Ciao for now.